Le Chat Noir will host the first public event for Augusta Neat, a whiskey enthusiast club. The event is a time for locals to try spirits from around the world and network with fellow whiskey enthusiasts. The event was private at first, but has been made public with purchase of a ticket required. We sat down with the group's co-founders, Chris Nabholz, Zach McCabe, and Blaine Rishu, to have an in-depth conversation about the event and its future.
Tell me a little bit about what this event is and how it came about.
The idea is was born out of something that we used to do at my house. We used to have some friends over and I'd pull out a few whiskeys and they would bring a bottle and we would just have kind of the supply of them to share and taste and exchange. And we talk about the differences, like, hey, this one's a little smokier, this one's a little sweeter. I'm getting some fruit out of this one. And that's kind of where it started, because there's so much misconception about what whiskey is. I think a lot of people, they start out drinking whiskey, maybe in college, shooting at the bar, and, maybe they see whiskey as this kind of old fashioned drink that their grandfather used to drink. But once you look at it, it's the process really does not change from style to style, but there's so many variances in flavor, and you can explore the world at your own table.
Let's get a group of people together and educate people on all the different whiskeys in the world. And so that's really the idea of the event, education. And that's how it started. And so we started doing events. Our first event was at Augusta Candle Company, and it was maybe about 20 people. Zach was actually there. And it was a invite only and free event, but you brought a bottle of whiskey to share. And so, you have 20 different bottles of whiskey to try. You don't have to worry about wondering if you'd like it or not. You try it. You don't like it, dump it out, try something else. And so that was just building this community of people that wanted to learn more and more about whiskey. And we grew. We would do it in storefronts. And so people would be able to check out new areas downtown Augusta. And then we all go out later and have a good time, enjoy the city. And, it just... COVID happened, and so we brought on Zach later on, about 2 months in?
Yeah, like November.
Yeah, about in November, and the three of us have been making huge changes to the group, which has led up to exactly what we're trying to do now.
Anybody that wants to learn about whiskey, or maybe they have what I call as a serial whiskey monogamist, where they have one bottle that they buy, and when that's gone, they buy that same bottle again, or maybe one other one. They can start to expand their palate and find out what they really like. And then that way they're a better consumer and they're getting the most out of, every dollar they spend. Everybody knows that the whiskey ain't cheap, and you want to make the best possible decision for yourself.
Now, so Zach, you're kind of the whiskey man from what I'm hearing. So tell me, for this event, why whiskey? What makes whiskey such a particular drink that makes people, want to have these tasting events, Why this drink? What's special about it?
So whiskey is, it's a unique spirit, right? So whiskey has to be made from grains, but a lot of people know whiskey. A lot of people are comfortable with some form of whiskey, whether that's Scotch or bourbon or American rye or just a bottle of Crown that they have kicking around their liquor cabinet. It's just something that everybody is somewhat familiar with, and we take that and we try to leave all pretension at the door. What you don't like, you don't like. Come in, let's try some new things, let's try some different whiskeys maybe you haven't had before, and let's learn something together. So whiskey's kind of like that, it's a very broad category in general, but we have, your bourbons, your ryes, your Irish whiskeys, your Scotch whiskeys, your peated whiskeys, Japanese whiskeys. We've done it all as part of Augusta Neat.
What's it going to look like for a first-timer walking in here to see this event?
So the event will be very welcoming. At least that's the goal. That's what we want everyone to come in and feel. We want everyone to feel welcome and not have any pretension about not knowing anything about whiskey. So just take that into consideration first. But as far as what the event will look like, so it's going to be a seated event due to the COVID restrictions. So everyone will have an assigned seat. We'll hang out at a table. You'll have a flight in front of you in sealed glass vials, numbered and labeled, so you can pour your own, so nobody's coming around pouring glasses for you or anything like that. But it's essentially going to be a tour around the world. This first event is going to be a tour around the world of whiskey.
one thing we like to say in the whiskey world is that everybody loves whiskey, but not everybody has found the whiskey that they love yet. And there are so many flavors and so many styles. I promise, if you come, you give us a chance, you will find one that you love that you can make yours.
You guys plan on making this a regular thing, and is it going to be a regular thing at Le Chat Noir?
Yeah, so we try to meet once a month at a minimum, and we want to get more and more people involved, drinking whiskey and learning about whiskey and just enjoying it with friends. So yes, we are trying to do this on a regular basis, and I'm happy to say that we are doing our next event at Le Chat Noir in October.
Yes, October 23rd, I want to say.